Someone was late this week. Who was it? It wasn't me.
Joe?
No.
Peter got here first.
Yeah, Pete. No, I was right on time.
Man, I was outside waiting. I wanted to be a gentleman, but
I wanted to be a gentleman.
hey, man, it got really hot and I'm like,
were
sorry.
you in this? You got out of your car and waited in the sun in a sweatshirt?
Yeah.
How long you been living in Texas?
Oops. My entire life, you know. Wait, are we recording? Is it recording right now?
Yeah, it is.
Oh. Be a gentleman, stay a gentleman, guys. Don't just leave her out there in the heat.
You should always assume it's recording.
Always resume. That's when you catch the best stuff when no one's expecting it.
You're right.
All right, guys. Welcome back. You know it's time to speak the fuck up.
Yes,
we're here in
indeed.
studio. It's your guy Joe here with Pete and Griffin. Today we have a very special guest, WFAA health and wellness reporter, Sonia. How you doing?
I'm
What's
good.
up?
So you can say bad words on this program?
Oh, you can say whatever you want.
Right.
Now, he said that if we say too many bad words in the front, YouTube will demonetize us. We're getting pennies on the dollar right now, so
it's all good.
So we'll keep it PG-13 for the first 5-10 minutes. And then
I think I'm really the only one that says a lot of curse words. I think do you say a lot?
I curse a lot.
On here?
I think I do.
Yeah.
Because sometimes I don't even catch myself cursing.
No, it's just part of it.
It just spits out.
It just
I'll
comes
be like,
out.
Hey, did I curse? I don't know. Don't matter. Keep going.
You know, there's psychology behind that.
What's it say?
what, cussing?
Uh-oh.
Yeah. Well, it's just intentional language, right? Like my friends make fun of me, about this kind of stuff. But I feel like when you're coaching, you talk about this, being intentional, being mindful, right? So it extends to your language. So like what is in you comes out of you. So is there like a frustration? Is there like an anger? Is there, what emotion is tied to some of those words for you?
So if I say fuck a lot, that means...
In what context? In what context?
You tell us. I mean,
it's just like is it adjective? Word you attach to something? Give it some more
description.
Yeah, like is there like a
I mean, it's not a verb.
More colorful word that you could use instead of that.
Probably.
I think fuck is a very colorful word
I
itself.
just love that word.
It's very, very colorful.
It goes with everything.
It paints a very great picture.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm never going to be invited back.
What? No, you're doing great.
You're doing awesome.
Yeah.
But hey, well, since the beginning of the segment was already recorded, I'm gonna stop wearing hoodies moving forward.
No,
every single episode, for those that have paid attention, we're dropping little hints here. There are hidden items in every single episode. For people that pay attention, just watch it.
And they're catching on.
Yeah.
They are, because some people pointed it out. Ooh. But I'm gonna stop wearing hoodies because it's Texas.
You just have to come inside.
Hot.
Don't have your
sweatshirt
sweatshirt on and stand outside.
You're right. But still, anyways. All right, back to the topic.
Back to the topic at hand.
Hey, having Sonia here. Thank you so much for joining us.
It's really good to see you. I haven't seen you in a really long time. We've both been working. I haven't been to gyms yet, so that's where I normally see you.
Is that how you two met, in the gym?
Yeah, he's kicked my ass a few times.
At F45?
F45.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That reputation, baby.
He really does. But let me tell you what got me hooked on his classes in particular is his little mindful moment afterwards. Really. Have y'all know what I'm talking about?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, so I was like, oh, this dude is more than just a coach who's going to scream at you and tell you what to do. He's like bringing it together for you. And I really appreciated that. It's not just a workout with this guy. It's like a whole mind-body experience.
I appreciate that.
For sure.
No, thank you.
That's a good thing about Peter, though, is he lets us do that, too. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Like, he's like, look, be you. Mm-hmm. Like, we got a template, all that stuff, but be you.
Right.
You know what I mean? And that's why that F45 is the rebellious one, quote unquote. Because he's just like, hey, man, be who you are.
Yeah, it kind of is. I mean, you've taken classes at different gyms. And Dallas Arena, it kind of stands out. And we've had the reputation of being the rebellious one. But it's okay. I want my coaches to have...
But that's what makes it fun.
Sense of freedom,
Right.
Yeah.
You know?
You get to be free.
Yeah. But with that being said...
Look, Sonia came in. Okay, so she watched the very first episode.
I did, yeah.
And what'd you think about it?
Oh, I
Put you on the spot.
I loved it. No, I did. We have been talking about that first episode ever since he sent it to me and he said, hey, take a look at this. I just want to know what you think. And I said to Pete, I was like, man, every time you guys would make a point, right? And I would find myself talking out loud to myself, to you guys, really.
Yelling at the screen.
But no, I wasn't yelling. I was like, oh, yeah, but... oh, that was a really good point. You know, like when you're just talking to yourself, but really, I felt very engaged.
Nice.
So,
Nice. That's good.
But then I said, man, y'all really need a woman at the table.
We do. We wanted one.
That's right. Exactly.
Yeah.
We wanted one. Perfect.
Yeah. So he's been like, and then, he's been like, come join us. And we've been talking about relationships and guys and girls and just, online dating and social media and all this stuff. For how many weeks? He's been giving me some good advice.
Is that advice that you apply? Are you currently in a relationship?
I'm not.
Okay,
no.
so how do you...
You heard that, fellas.
Y'all heard that, fellas?
No, I'm pretty sure dudes are already crawling in her DMs.
Yeah,
with
I
some,
bet.
Yeah, and-
with
But the
some
ones that's
stuff.
not, you heard that, fellas.
I'm not. And that doesn't work for me.
Sliding in the DMs?
Yeah.
Well, you heard that, fellas.
Because, well, I mean, I'll say I don't do online dating. I've done Bumble for 6 weeks back in like 2016 or 2017.
Right.
Bumble.
Did you remember Bumble?
I used to do that when I would go out of town. I just,
Wait, that's not the one where you swipe right, swipe left.
I don't know anyone
That's
here.
the
What is
point.
Bumble?
That's the point. So I didn't know. This is not my world, right? But I did Bumble because a girlfriend made me join it. She's like sat there like, no, do it. This is like right when I moved to Dallas, and I didn't realize like that people did that, right? So I'm like, oh, this is nice. Okay, cool. Oh, this guy looks nice. Oh, we're messaging now. Oh, and this guy's messaging me now. Well, but then I started to realize very quickly, people are using you for your time. Like when people started flaking out on me, like wouldn't even meet up in person, I was like, you would never do that to me if you knew me in person. I think that's really disrespectful. I don't have time to like sit here and chit chat with you. And then, you're chit chatting with 25 other people. This is not an episode of The Bachelor. Like, I'm not really into all of that.
So it's a dating service.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it was like, so I ended up meeting up with two guys, both of whom I'm still friends with, neither of whom happened to be American, which was weird to me. Like they were both from the UK.
Right.
But they were in Dallas. One was living here and one was just visiting. Nothing ever, like I'm not trying to put all my business out there, but let's just say they're both really good human beings. I still talk to them, one with more frequency, but they're like really good people. That's all that ever came from Bumble. I never dated anyone from a dating online, whatever swiping thing. But
What was the swiping app?
that's the one.
What, you talking about Tinder?
Yeah, Tinder.
I had that one too.
There you go.
Man, don't act like you don't know
Someone
this
reported-
guy.
I had a
you
Tinder-
you get engaged and then you forget.
Of course he does.
Yeah.
I had a Tinder back in the hometown. And somebody texted the girl I was with at the time and was like, hey, Joseph's on Tinder. And
That's
she
cold
asked me
as
about
ice.
it. I was like, yeah, I just want to see what it was like. And I didn't do anything with it. I just want to see how it operated.
So kind of like what Sonia was talking about. She said she doesn't use dating
Oh.
apps, but she used Bumble for what, 6 weeks? 8 weeks?
It was 6 weeks. Yeah. And this was years ago. And I did start dating one guy who did slide into my DMs. So this is how this conversation started. And it just didn't end well because of the way that relationship started. I didn't trust how he was in his DMs with other women. Does that
Right.
make sense?
So to go back to saying that sliding into DMs don't work for you. Do you feel like it works for any women?
Hell yeah, it does.
Oh yeah, it definitely does. It definitely does. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I would like something that made me feel more secure in a relationship. It makes me feel the whole social media thing makes me feel extremely uncomfortable.
Is it because of how accessible everyone is to one another?
Yeah, that's part of it. And I mean, we're gonna talk openly, right? Like I'm older than you guys. I'm older than a lot of people think. I know. Everybody, I always get that face.
Yeah.
But what I forget is that a lot of the people who I'm connected with, even in our community, the fitness community, right? These women are beautiful and they're young and they're ripped and they're fun and they're adventurous and they're everything. And they're 29. And I'm like, oh my God, like.
You feel like you got to compete with that
Yeah.
every single day?
Yeah. Every day. Every day that you see it. Yes, that's exactly right. To be honest with you.
So do you feel like social media or just like media apps and whatnot nowadays is creating a disconnect between the opposite sex?
I mean, do you
Or just
guys
between people in
feel-
general?
Between people, yeah, and between the opposite sex. But I understand how for some guys especially, look, I think guys have it much harder, right? Like you guys are having to be the ones generally who approach women like at a bar or I mean,
Right.
back in the day, this is pre-COVID, right? Or wherever you are, you want to approach someone and be like, hey, I want to get to know you. Like, how do you do that? That's difficult. So online, everything's easier because it's like, rejection is like, all right, well, didn't know you anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
No big deal. But, well, and we'll get to some of these. I solicited questions on Instagram before I came here. So we have a lot of questions about online dating, but they're good questions. So anyway, but I think people see your persona online and they go, oh, he's this and she's that. And, very basic, very surface. They don't ever get to know you as a person. Some of them don't even care.
Right.
They just want like a quickie or or they're bored, or they just got out of a relationship and they need a rebound, or you don't know people's stories,
Right.
So yeah, I find it fake. I find it really, I want to use the word disappointing, because I'm sure that if I had met some of those people who did swipe right on me, like in person, I'm sure they were great people, and I'm sure that maybe some of them I would have connected with. But because of that, who you have to be online, like, no, it never happened.
No, so earlier, alluding to earlier, you said that, meeting people online, those couple of times you were ghosted, what like you were meeting them out in person and then they just didn't show up?
Yeah, there's one story I remember, because this is one of the first people I was like, oh, I'm chatting with him, right? And he was like, hey, let's meet for dinner or coffee or whatever it was. And I was like, okay, cool, Thursday at 7, whatever. And then it was like last minute on that day, it was like, hey, my parents are coming into town from, wherever. And then I have to go to Brazil for 2 weeks for work. And so like, let's meet up after that. And I was like, still not really getting how this whole world worked. I'm like, okay. So I'm waiting for 2 weeks because that's the type of person I am.
2 whole weeks.
Yeah.
That's a long time.
That is a long
for
time.
someone you don't know.
Right.
But that's now. If you're listening to this, watching this, and you're 50 or 60 years old, 2 weeks is nothing, right? I know that I'm referencing a different time period, but that's how quickly our world is moving now.
Yeah.
It's like 2 weeks. I would wait for an eternity for someone who I felt like respected me and was being forthcoming and honest. I just think more long term, and I think this online dating and swiping makes everyone think so short term that it's detrimental to relationships, whether you're talking about platonic or romantic relationships.
Do you feel like people just get bored? Amongst some of the reasons, I'm pretty sure there are plenty of reasons.
It's impatience, right? Because if you're bored, pick up a book. Like, clean your apartment.
Yeah, folks, y'all hear that? Pick up a book.
Pick up a book. Or download it on your
Man, I really hope I don't get fired for saying these words. No. Yeah, you know what I mean? There's always something to do. There's to me, volunteer, right? Like, I don't understand boredom.
Yeah.
I really don't. I'm not ever, even when I'm with myself at home alone, I'm not like, I'm so bored. What should I do? Like, watch a movie, meditate, call your mother. Like, I don't know. There's a lot you could do. Connect with someone, help someone, write a letter to someone. I'm different, y'all, I think. I just don't get bored. But yeah, I guess people get impatient is what I would say. And they need attention now. And that's what it's
I feel like writing
about.
letters is like a lost art.
Yeah.
I got a postcard during this pandemic from a girlfriend of mine who was sending them to different people every week. And I thought that was so nice.
It is.
It was so nice.
It has like sentimental value to it.
Yeah.
I really think writing a letter is lost art.
Have you written a letter recently?
I have. I write to my fiance all the time.
You do?
Yeah.
That is cute. Oh my God.
No, she
wait a minute.
No, she tweeted about that, right?
Yeah.
I saw that. I'm telling y'all, I don't know how he acts when there's not a woman in the room, but this guy is for real.
He's a fucking heathen. No.
A real romancer.
No,
so you're true to it. Okay.
Like, it doesn't surprise me with Peter that he does that.
Well, the only reason why I do it is because the story that I alluded back to my parents, like how my dad wrote letters to my mom.
Yeah.
It's like even with pictures nowadays, how often do people even print actual pictures anymore? You take pictures on your camera, on your phone, it goes to the cloud, and it stays on the cloud. Like, you don't even go to print anymore, so there's no going back to it to even look, right? How often do people even actually look at pictures? So when you go back to, like, grandma's house or whatever, and you have photo albums laying out, and you look at it, it triggers memories. Yeah. So when my mom brought out a whole stack of letters that my dad used to write her when my mom was in a refugee camp and my dad was in Europe, studying abroad, and I'm like, damn. Yeah. So it's because of that I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna write her letters, and that way if she wants to hold it, do whatever with it that she wants. And it's like sometimes it's nice to have letters, and it may be in your notebook, it may be in your backpack or a purse for a woman, and you kind of just going through rummaging through stuff, and it's like, oh, what's this? And you go open it, and it's just, you know, sentimental value.
I think it's important. It's an important reminder of how loved she is, right? So sometimes I will save cards that were written by whomever, like even this postcard that my friend wrote me, girlfriend. I use them as bookmarks in the books that I read, because every once in a while you just feel like today wasn't like so great, or no one's said hello, no one's called to check on me. No, you know, I mean, life can be lonely. But you read the words that someone else wrote about you, for you, to you. That touches your heart. Like, I think that's beautiful.
Yeah.
And then, you know, kids and grandkids and all these, you know, you save that stuff.
You do.
There's
and
a
you
lot
show
of
them
value
later.
in that.
Yeah, it does. And even if you don't see it for a while and it just pops up out of the blue, it's like, oh, I remember getting this, or I don't remember getting this.
This is nice because I'm not writing any letters. Like I said, alluding to a previous episode, I will send you a very nice text message. I will hit you, hello, Instagram, hello, how are you? I'll type it up real nice and neat for you to have it digitally.
Nice little emoji.
Yes,
and then he'll be left on red.
Jason get left on red. Now let me stop playing.
I saw a funny meme that was posted yesterday. I forgot who I saw it on. It's like the same picture. You know how you have like a picture of you and then a picture of you, and the other person, like the other you, is telling you something. And it's like, I told you not to double text him because now
the
you're
Kermit the Frog one or something like that.
Yeah, so it's something similar.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, now you were left on red twice.
How many people do you leave on read?
Yeah, so let's talk about your DMs.
Okay. I read everything.
Like every single single message you get.
I don't reply to all of them, but I read everything.
But you open them.
Yeah.
In your DMs?
Yeah, and
so
in
they can
my
see
email.
So they can see that you read it.
Well, if you're connected with them, like if you accept them into the general mailbox,
gotcha.
right?
Yeah.
But yeah, all my Facebook messages, because a lot of people, especially during this pandemic, have reached out with questions, valid questions about mental health, about yoga, about meditation, about coronavirus, you know, health, wellness. My job at work requires me to engage with viewers. So I don't.
So for those that don't know who Sonia is, she works in the with health and wellness area with WFAA.
Yeah, and I also teach meditation and yoga. So I don't ever want people to feel like they're unsupported or unheard. Now, if you come in there creepy and crazy, you're not getting a response. But I think for the most part,
what are some examples of creepy and crazy?
Dick pics.
Unsolicited, clearly.
Unsolicited dick pics. We were talking about that, guys, 2 episodes ago?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I have this belief that every girl has a guy that she would accept an unsolicited dick pic from that she wouldn't mind. Am I wrong?
I think if you were talking to most women, the answer might be yes. But for me, that's just not my thing, y'all. I promise I told him I'm going to be totally honest with y'all.
Yeah.
No, we want
So
you.
who's your celebrity crush? Your male celebrity crush?
Oh,
If you had to
that's a
pick
good
one.
question.
1, 2, 3. I mean, whatever.
Wait.
Whatever comes to mind. Or whoever comes to mind. I mean.
It don't even matter.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, there's a couple. I'm trying to figure out what to say. I mean, Brad Pitt, but like not like.
All right,
So let's
let's go with Brad Pitt.
Let's time out right there.
Send you a dick pic.
Wait, you talking to Brad Pitt? He just gets you going, and the feelings are mutual. Everything's reciprocated back and forth. Then out of nowhere, he just sends you a dick.
My heart is beating. No.
Can we tag that Brad Pitt on this?
Hey, Brad, we're chatting about your dick. Wanted to let you know.
We'll throw her handle down there in case you want to send her an unsolicited dick pic.
What would you like? What would you do in that situation?
It still doesn't. I'm not a visual. Like that's not. It does. Nothing happens. I just go like that. Like that's honestly. I talked to him about it because a guy did do it recently, and also you never know. The mood that you're catching someone in, right? And I woke up to take a final exam for my meditation class, on a Saturday morning, and I was like,
wait, so you woke up getting ready to take a meditation final.
Yeah.
So you had to get your mental ready.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then you open up your phone and that's the first thing that.
Well, it was one of the first things, right? Like I've trained myself now not to open Instagram like first thing or something in the morning. Like
that's good.
Do my meditation, do what I need to do for myself, and then I'll get to my phone. But this final exam, y'all, was like 7 hours, like 16 pages. Like this was a really big deal for me.
Right. Yeah.
And I was like,
did you pass?
I did.
Oh, congratulations.
Thank you.
Okay.
But yeah, it was like, I don't even know. Here's the thing. I don't even know you. Right. Exactly. That is exact face I was making. I don't even know you. Why do you assume I want to see that? Why do you think that's appropriate? Obviously it's worked for other women in the past, and maybe so that's something they enjoy receiving. No.
Sorry to interject.
No.
Ladies, the ones that are watching, anyone, for the most part, do y'all feel like unsolicited dick pics work for you ever?
So let me just,
even if it's a celebrity crush.
So yeah, I mean, like, let's live in reality. Brad Pitt is not sending me.
Yeah, you never know.
Right?
We'll he might get a little desperate one day and just send
you never know.
Random people.
Yeah, but
he might have a PR that does it for him.
Hey, Brad, I just need to take this quick pic of your dick. Don't worry about what it's for.
But I think, given my recent issues with a guy who I had to file a police report, but anyway.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
it's a like you can get in trouble for that, right?
Yeah, you can.
Yeah, I didn't file a police report on this guy who I was talking about earlier, but a different guy. But I've been talking a lot about it on my Instagram, and several women have said, particularly dick pics have been really disruptive for them. And, you know, when you don't know someone, a lot of women in the media like get this kind of stuff in their DMs all the time. And we can joke about it and laugh it off and be like, that's funny, or ignore it. People are always like, ignore it. How many fucking times do I have to ignore that shit?
No, and you know what? That's a serious thing. I'm glad you said that, because you don't know if a woman's been through sexual abuse. You don't know if she was molested as a child. You don't know the things that she's gone through up through her adulthood, through college. And then here you come with a random picture. So that can trigger some things. You're right. You're absolutely correct. You don't know.
You don't know that person.
You don't know anything about that person. Wow.
Yeah.
That's a whole nother... Guys, that's a whole nother perspective. Think of it from that. You don't know what this lady has gone through. Even the guys that send dick pics to other guys, I've gotten a couple of those, and I told y'all that.
You did tell us that.
I told y'all
you're
that.
right.
It made me. I was like, men are disgusting.
Yeah.
Terrible.
Let's throw rocks at them.
I can't believe. But no. Continue.
Oh my God.
Continuing along. You're 100% correct about that. Yeah, that's a different way to look at it.
I just think from day to day, we don't know anyone's state of mind, right? Like you could send me something jokingly and lighthearted, but I've had a really heavy day. And so that's why, you know, we've talked about this. I like to always start my text messages even with, hey, are you having a good day? Hope you're okay. Like you just, especially right now, you just don't know.
Like, what is your mental capacity at this point?
What can you handle me telling you or saying to you right now?
Yeah. Well, also, you don't want to energetically vomit on anyone either. Like people got their own stuff going on.
Oh yeah, everybody does.
Yeah.
It's been a crazy year. Even besides this year, like we really don't know
ever.
We're all the stars in our own little movie.
Yeah. So with that being said, so we're telling men like, hey, it doesn't really work out, like stop doing it kind of thing. Let's throw them a gem or throw them a bone. Like if a guy was to approach a woman, especially nowadays when you're not going out as much anymore, or maybe they feel more comfortable behind the screen, like what would be ideal for a guy to approach a woman by sliding into her DM?
Well, that's your notebooks.
What would work? What would work? You know, because
I've had a pandemic engaged occurrence. I don't know what to call it. Nothing ever happened, but this guy randomly bought me coffee, and so I went into my regular place because I had Instagrammed about it quite a bit, right? Yeah. And so one time when I went in, the barista was like, oh, this guy bought you a coffee and here's his info or whatever if you want it. And so I had the choice to respond or not, but of course I was going to say, oh, hey, thanks so much, that was really nice of you. And then we went on some walks, and he's a really good friend, but like nothing, you know.
The coffee move is undefeated.
Always.
You wanna take a girl on a date, take her out in the daytime while the sun is up in the morning. Let's go get some coffee.
Does that work?
Or just I think so. Coffee, a picnic, like, you know. I'm
telling you.
I feel like women, especially right now, feel more comfortable with that. You just never know, you guys, who you're dealing with, because it's really scary. It's scary, actually, for some people, especially if they've had negative experiences. Like, you want to trust everyone. You want to give everyone the benefit of the doubt. But the unfortunate reality is you really don't know someone's mental state. Right. You don't know their relationship experience. You don't know their triggers. You don't know their addictions. You don't know anything about most people. So yeah, daytime, I would say, is the way to go.
So I kind of want to ask, I guess I want to throw a question out there for the entire panel. What do you feel is making relationships or even the dating scene so difficult these days besides COVID?
And besides social media?
Yeah. Like what do you think is like the whole issue of relationships nowadays, and why is it so hard for people to connect or even stay in a relationship or a meaningful relationship?
I think because of the social norms now, if it's not over a text or on a screen, you don't feel as confident in yourself. Like a lot of guys, I think, this is just my opinion, but a lot of guys I think are intimidated by successful women.
Yeah.
Right? Maybe because they feel, well, I don't have all my cards in, I don't have all my chickens and my eggs in my basket yet. I'm going to wait till I get more successful and get this car and get my house and do this, do that, before I take a chance on this woman that I am obviously attracted to.
Right.
Is there anything wrong with wanting to complete yourself before you do that, though?
No, but you never know.
But that's not the point he's making, though. He's saying that the guy doesn't feel like he's sufficient or or complete like
but you're also equating a house and a car and whatever else, with being complete. Like, but you're complete. You're good now as long as you have the qualities and characteristics of wanting to be, that embodied man in a meaningful and loving relationship. Right.
But because of the social norms, a guy doesn't think he measures up. Not all, of course, but I think most guys expect. I don't want to throw out an age group, but I think younger guys see what success is on social media, and they think that they have to be that to be successful.
Is that because that's like those guys are the ones who are getting attention from the women who they'd want to date?
Yeah,
for the most part, yeah.
Okay. Status.
Yeah.
I don't know. How do you feel as a successful woman? How can I word this question?
Do you think guys are intimidated by your success?
That must be it, you guys.
Yeah. Toss the hair.
No, I mean, I wish that. So here's my response to the same question initially. I think communication is a problem. People have, for whatever reason, a difficult time communicating. Like they don't want to talk about stuff. And also, people have not taken the time to be alone, to be with themselves, to really feel like, hey, I am bringing my whole self into this relationship. And this is something I want and I'm serious about. They're too scared. They want to date this, dip their toe in the water. Maybe I can find something better. Maybe not. I don't want to grow with this person. I change my mind. So like, you be solid with you first and then show up, right? Show up fully for someone else. Now, as it relates to I've worked on my career. Nobody just said, hey, you want to do this? Boom, here you go. Right. Like, don't you want to be with someone who's resilient and tenacious and had to work hard and is smart and not just like, oh, okay, whatever you want to do, wherever you want to go. Yeah. Like, I mean, I don't know, maybe some people want that other thing, but that's not me. Right. And that's never going to be me. And if that intimidates somebody, sorry, then you're not my person either. Like, I want a supportive, like you and your fiance are such a good example of y'all both bring a lot to the table. No, really, and you both have so many good qualities that match each other. You probably challenge each other. Right. Like, that's a good dynamic to have.
Yeah, she's challenging.
I'm sure she would say a lot worse about you now. Yeah, no.
Can we edit that out? I'm just kidding.
No, that's staying.
Gold.
That's staying. That's what I think. Like, I think if you're intimidated, you need to check yourself.
There you go.
Yeah.
And all of the wonderful qualities that you possess as a man, and don't forget about those, right? And I always say, show up as your highest self. If you are really serious about a woman, you show up as your highest self. You're most respectful. You're, just your best self. And
every guy knows what that is for himself.
Yeah. You hear that, fellas? Be confident. Be confident in what you bring to the table, without having to fake the funk.
Yes.
Keep it real.
Lace the boots.
Hey, and if she's not about it with your best self, then maybe she's not the one. You know what I'm saying?
It's true.
She's gonna accept you, and if she really is a genuine woman that you want to be with, she's gonna recognize your potential. She's gonna recognize your value, and what she's gonna do is actually elevate you to the next level. Because what's the saying? Every successful man has a woman, not necessarily walking behind him, but not next to him. Hey, don't worry, I got it.
Yeah.
I was like, let me be careful with this.
I'm like,
it's no longer the woman behind him, it's the woman beside him, you know? Like, she's going to elevate you, and y'all should be able to challenge each other and push each other to the next level. But be confident, keep it real.
And to grow together. Like, it's hard. You know, if you think about, you know, my parents, right? They were immigrants, both of them living in an apartment, 1-bedroom apartment, like, but they grew everything together.
Right.
So people don't want to do that now. It goes back to that impatience. Like, what, girls want to show up and be like, oh, cool, I'm moving into this dude's mansion and he's going to buy me a car and do this for me and do that. Well, ladies, come on. No. That's not fair either. That's a lot of pressure on men. It really is.
Well, see, here's the thing. Men recognize that too.
Yep.
Like, women feel like they can, oh, well, this guy he hasn't made, he's going to take care of me and whatnot. And to think, like, you know, of a sugar daddy, you know, which is a whole different conversation. But I'm talking for the most part, if he doesn't recognize it in the beginning, he's going to. He's going to be like, man, I'm doing all this and I bring this much to the table. She ain't done shit.
Yeah.
You know, and it's not necessarily about doing stuff for the guy. It's like, so, you know, I'm just going to think of an easy example. You know, women love compliments, right? Words of affirmation. Like, who doesn't? Well, men love that too. You know, if you think about it. And it's like the whole stroking his ego, not stroking his ego, but stroking his ego.
Yeah.
We weren't going there, Pete.
Hey, I'm just saying. Men like compliments too, but a lot of times, you know, women get so comfortable with receiving the compliments that she either forgets or takes them for granted and doesn't turn around and do the same thing, you know?
Yeah.
So
it goes both ways.
Elevation.
Right?
So we're equating all this back to reason relationships don't work.
Yeah.
And going from there.
Yeah. Sorry.
Do you think that you can be too emotional in the beginning, and that's another reason why relationships fail out? Because you go and you put all these emotions out 2 weeks into a guy or 2 weeks into a girl, and you're pouring your heart out to this person. Do you think that can run people off or be a reason a relationship or a try fails?
Yeah, and I think that, so two things about that. One, patience, again. Take the time to get to know someone, because I think so many people just want to be in a relationship because, again, they're not comfortable enough with themselves to just be by themselves, with themselves, work on themselves.
Yeah.
And number two, I think that we're confusing the concepts of love and attachment. People want to feel love and they want to give love, but sometimes that's disguised as just attachment. And so that's why they get super excited at the beginning and I'm going to tell you about my whole life.
Yeah.
And, you know, but usually it's the girl doing that, right? And the guy being like, whoa, this is a lot. So I think right at the beginning, it can feel very heavy and very scary for a guy. And so, we need to temper our expectations right at the beginning and be okay with slowly moving. And I will say, I think people do it a lot of times these days backwards, is where you have sex with someone and then it's like, oh wait, are we in a relationship? Whereas like back in the day, really, it was like you build up to that.
Yeah.
You know? And
Sex has become meaningless almost.
But sex changes a relationship too.
it does. That's what I hear. I don't know.
Like,
My parents are not watching this, right? No.
I'm never speechless. Okay, so in doing it, I guess, in doing it backwards, so you're making a suggestion that we should date and get to know each other, and then what's the time frame for
it's
sex?
Different for everyone.
Yeah.
It's different for everyone. But that's, can you communicate that with the person you're
Right.
interested in? Like, you should be able to, right? And I'm guilty of not doing that either. I'm sitting here. Oh, should I tell them how old I am? Okay.
I was going to ask.
I don't
we
care.
don't ask a lady, right?
I don't care.
Crap,
Okay.
I was going to ask.
Oh, hey, go right at
Well,
it.
wait, why don't y'all guess? And then I don't care. I'm going to tell you anyway.
Well, I know, so I'm not going to guess.
Yeah.
You go first, Griff.
Well, when she gave us a hint, she said she's older than
All of us, right? So think about how old you are. So I'm gonna say
I'm old.
Watch it.
39.
Yeah.
Why'd you say I didn't even get to guess?
Well, because he already said
I'm
it
just too
right.
good.
Damn, but I was like I thought you were like in your 20s, like
That's what I told her too. Whenever she told me,
But that's also dangerous because I get approached by guys who are like, I'm 33. And I'm like, yeah.
So would you never? So would you date a younger guy, or have you?
I have, and I will not anymore.
Why is
Because of
that?
maturity, or
I don't care if you're a 33-year-old and you're like, oh, but I'm so mature. Like, so am I for a 39-year-old. So you know what I mean? Like, I've traveled all over the world. I speak several different languages. I've worked my way up to this career. I have 2 graduate degrees. Like, I'm a yogi. I meditate. I live that way.
Yeah.
So I'm not rattling off my resume to be like, I'm better than you, but I have a lot of life experience. And I feel like if you're like, you know, like, oh, wow, that's so cool. Teach me everything you know. Like, nah, I'm not really, that's not me right now. But I say that through having experienced that. Right. Like, oh, you've never left the country? Cool. Let me show you this place. Yeah. Let's do this together. And okay, you're always pulling someone along.
With everything that you just said, do you think personally that kind of stops relationships that you get into as far or blocks yourself from progressing with someone?
So in the 2 cases I'm thinking of, it was actually those people treated me very badly. Okay. Like very badly. Not like no one's ever physically harmed me, but I mean, it's like getting on or getting on what are the dating apps without telling me, like once we're fully like a year plus into a relationship.
Y'all official.
Oh yeah.
Kind of thing. Exclusive.
Yeah. DMs or dirty DMs with women back and forth, pictures, videos, never stopping it, never acknowledging me. Like, and you think,
I want to touch on that after you.
Yeah. You think that kind of stuff only happens to certain women or not. I mean, I'm rattling off things about myself to let other women know, basically, like, yeah, this even happens to me, right? You know, and so, and I'm zero tolerance, no bullshit for that anymore. Like, no.
So, okay. So to allude to that, why do you think it is, and I know that men and women are both guilty of this, maybe more men, I don't know, maybe because men get caught more than women do, but I know both are just as guilty as the other party. Why do you think there is a disconnect or the essence of not being loyal to just that one relationship?
Options.
Curiosities.
Yeah. Unfulfillment? Voids?
I think, boredom, right? Or grass is greener, that mentality.
And look at everything that you see
on social media.
She alluded to earlier.
Yeah.
You can go and click a girl's profile and she's got 3,000 pictures of her body out, and your eyes feed you. Yeah. You know what like I said, you know what you're attracted to, you know what you want, you know what you're looking for. So when you go to someone's profile and they have what you like, visually what you like,
yeah,
get out there.
And that also, like, I know this is a big topic for women, is when the guy they're with likes other women's like bikini photos and stuff like that. Yeah. Let me just clear this up. Like, it is not a good feeling. It is not a good feeling to have your man out there like liking every photo from, especially if you notice it's the same woman over and over and over. Right. You're like, why do you even follow her? Yeah. Like, you're not friends with her. Right. What is this? You know what I mean? Like, don't. That's
why Instagram took down the recent likes thing. So guys are cool, ladies are cool, you know.
Yeah. But then that's really what drives women crazy. Can you imagine being a woman and going through that thing, being like, who did he like? Whose photo did he like? Like, that's what makes people crazy.
Why drive yourself to that point? Like, if you get to that point, shouldn't you just like walk away?
You should peace out. Yes. But people don't. Haven't you stayed in a relationship for longer than you should have?
Stayed in a marriage longer than I should.
There you go.
Hey, let's be honest.
We're keeping it real.
Yeah, you go through things and you just keep going.
Yeah.
But I did that off of being how I was raised. Like, it was like a Christian household. You know, you get married once. Yeah. This is it. You work through whatever. No, you don't work through whatever. Like, it's okay to let shit go. Yeah. It's okay.
So what do you think? We have our photographer with us today, Andrew. And we'll bring him in. We'll bring him into the scene here in just a little bit if he wants to. You know, it's up to him. But what do you think? Because I want everybody's perspective on this, whether we're at our current age, our current mentality, but also our younger listeners or viewers as well. And it's like, what do you think expectations are these days as far as dating, relationships, meaningless sex, just whatever? You know, it's like when you make the conscious effort to slide into someone's DM or even reaching out or just wanting to spend time with them, and it's like, are there expectations, and what are these expectations?
Everybody has their own motives.
Yeah.
Whether they voice them right at the beginning, which more people would appreciate. Tell me that you just want to have sex with me. Tell me that, just let me know. Yeah. Besides me putting my feelings into it, and then, you know, we get to that point and then you dip. Yeah. But sometimes those people's motives, you know, their ulterior motives don't come out until it's too late. Yeah. Right. So, I mean, you're very fortunate if you have someone that tells you up front, hey, this is what I want. This is what I'm looking for. This is things I don't want. I'm going to tell you that as well. If you stay, you stay. If you leave, that's on you. But remember, you decided to stay when I told you there was things that I did not want. Right. So,
so laying it out, so being upfront about it.
Be upfront. Be upfront. My aunt told me, I grew up with my aunt. She told me from the point, like, if you're going to talk to multiple women, let them know. Don't lie.
Yeah.
Be upfront about what you want. Don't leave people guessing. Don't leave people out on the thing. Don't lead them along the lines of, I guess, you parade yourself in a manner, how do I want to say this? You parade yourself in a manner in an illusion, so it appears like I'm what she wants,
right?
To get to your goal, and then you dip out. Now that's cold.
Yeah,
that's cold. So just be upfront, be honest.
So if you're not ready for a relationship, just let them know. It's like, hey, look, I'm not looking for anything serious. I'm probably gonna be dating other people.
Yeah.
And it's up to them to absorb what you're saying, to listen and to understand it. And if they have a problem with it, that's on them.
Yeah.
But do you think that's the expectations these days, though? I don't think that's the expectation these days.
No, everybody wants to, talk to someone and be like, that's my one. Yeah. Me and you.
Yeah.
And then, or you and I, excuse me. And I don't think that if you were to tell most women that or another man that they would receive that well, because that's not often done, I feel. Mm-hmm. How do you react to that?
Right.
Like, oh, I'm not just dating you. I don't just want to date you. Like, I want to date you, but I also want to talk to these other people at the same time. How do you feel? Oh, people are going to be like, no, they're not. They're going to bow out from that.
And some people may not necessarily know exactly what they want.
Yeah.
So they go that route. It's like, yeah, I'm dating you, but I'll be dating other people too. I'm still trying to figure it out.
Right.
Right. So if, like you said, if you don't understand that, at least listen and try to understand or whatever. But if that's not for you, it's not for you. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Don't try to force it. Just move on.
Yeah.
I also think like there are some of those people you meet where you're like, oh my gosh, there's an instant connection here.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Like, and that's when you're like, you don't have to explain anything, right? Like I've dated someone before where it was like, oh, we don't have to have a conversation about, are we seeing anyone else? Because we're just embodying what it means to be together in this relationship, like so laser focused, you know what I mean? So sometimes you don't even need that conversation if both parties are on the same page.
It's kind of understood, unspoken understanding, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember with this one person, with this guy, I brought it up. I was like, so are you seeing anyone else? And he was like, what kind of question is that? Like, we've been seeing each other for whatever it was, 6 weeks now. And I'm like, oh, thank you so much.
Little stories like that make my heart I just feel all warm inside. And I hate that feeling.
Well, it didn't. If it makes you feel better, it didn't work out. So,
but it worked for 6 weeks. So I mean,
a little longer. Hey, I have all these viewer questions.
Yeah, let's get to those.
Can we? How long? Yeah, do we have? Like how long?
No. Yeah, this is perfect timing.
No, it's great. Yeah, let's find out what these women or men want to know.
Okay.
And I kind of wanted to ask Andrew later too, like what expectations are for like
these young cats.
Young cats. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
This guy.
How old are you?
He said we outdated.
22.
So for those that can't hear Andrew, he said it's different in my world because y'all. I'm not saying y'all are old, but y'all are old because we're social media and.
Well, they grew up with it. He's right. Yeah, he's right.
Bunch of damn clout chasers. I'm just kidding.
All right, so over on Instagram, Sonia was so kind to her followers over on Instagram to post a question, and we got some feedback. So you're gonna start reading some questions.
I know guys got questions for women too.
We've got a couple of questions from guys about why the 6 foot height rule for women, and I think that's really funny. I mean, but it's not. But it's not even funny. It's like. Sometimes when I tell people like I'm not married, never been engaged, never nothing, right? But they're like, oh, you might be too picky. And I'm like, well, what are you picky about? So I'm not sitting here going, he's got to be 6 feet with green eyes and blonde hair and da-da-da. Like, so that kind of stuff I think says a lot about someone if they're like, oh, he has to be 6 feet. Like, what is, I don't.
But what is it about the 6 feet thing?
I think that's,
I don't know.
I'm 5 foot tall, so 6 feet is like a giant for me. I don't know.
Griff doesn't have to deal with that issue.
Like I'm chilling on this one.
6'3", 6'4"?
How tall are you, Joe?
Who, me?
Yeah.
Well, it depends on what driver's license you look at.
What kind of shoes you're wearing?
It went from 6 foot to 5'11" to 5'10". And I was like, damn, guys, I need to stretch or something. I don't know.
You need some yoga.
Yeah, I do. But I think that's something that we see from media on the outside, like movie stuff. Like, oh, he's got to be 6 foot and things like that.
I also think women like to feel kind of wrapped up in a guy.
Protection type of thing.
Yeah.
A 5'6" dude could protect a girl.
Yeah.
I mean, for me, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, 5 foot, yeah.
I got a question that a lot of guys pose when it comes to dating too. Yeah. Maybe Sonia can shed some light on this for us. Why is it that women can never think of what to eat? Whenever
someone brought this up to me, I think before.
I mean, jokes aside, it's a serious question.
This is a really serious question.
Yeah, I can't answer that. I'm the problem in the relationship with food.
Everything's flipped with Joe.
I'm the one that can't decide.
But sometimes it's just that it really doesn't matter to me, or I can be like this or this, and like the guy will be like, nah. Like sometimes I tend to seriously, and I'm like, okay, well then.
So is it because the women likes the guy to take the initiative and plan it out? And like, hey, we're gonna go eat here. We're
actually,
go eat here.
especially for the beginning of the relationship, I really do prefer that a guy's like that. They're not like, so what do you want to do? I'm like, oh man, can you put like a little tiny bit of effort into this? Like just a little bit. So in effort and thought, it's about being thoughtful. And I think that's what, when you talk about the 5 love languages, you talk about gifts and how, oh my gosh, gifts, that sounds so terrible. But no, I'm a gifts person. Yeah. It's about someone thinking about you. Behind it. So I think food is the same way. Hey, I know that you love sushi. Yeah. Have you been to this place? Or, oh, I know that this new restaurant is something you haven't tried out. How about we do that tonight? Do you feel like that? Right. Or this, or offer 2 options.
So for the guys that are still trying to figure that out, as far as asking her what she wants to eat, and getting frustrated about it. I mean, it's funny. It's funny at the end of the day if you think about it. It's like, damn, I done gave you this whole list and you said no to all of them, and then I asked you what you want, and it's like you can't even think of it. So this is some of the tricks of the trade that I've learned personally, and y'all let me know what y'all think about this. Think of 3 and then tell her to rank the 3. It's like, out of these 3, what would you want to go eat? Tell me your first, second, and third choice.
That's a good one.
Or just take the initiative, fellas. And if she doesn't like it, she's gonna tell you. If it's one of those things where if you actually want to ask her because you want her to choose, then say, hey, what would you like to go eat? Because a lot of time what I've learned, especially from my fiance, is like if there's something that she wants to eat, she will tell me. It's like, hey, can we go eat here tonight? Or hey, can we go eat here? So fellas, either take the initiative, and if you go to the restaurant and it doesn't work out and she doesn't really like the food, I guarantee you I can probably go grab pizza afterwards and she'll be fine with the pizza.
Damn, she's lucky. With me, we going back to the house. Yeah. this bread.
Got these Lunchables in there.
I make a mean peanut butter and jelly. I toast your bread, get the butter, the peanut butter.
Got some ramen noodles.
So what's another question that you were presented with?
Okay. Well, we talked a little bit about ghosting, but there's one lady who says, what's up with the ghosting? Why not just be straight up and honest about why you're not interested, or say that you're not interested?
This is coming from a woman?
Yeah.
Sometimes I think that we have so many notifications and things going on in our phone that, no, hear me out. That we're just going at 1,000,000 miles an hour. Seriously, everything in our life is so fast. We're moving so fast.
You're right.
That it may not necessarily be that I ghosted you until just 2 weeks later and I don't respond. But sometimes I'll see text messages, I'll read them, then I'll be like, okay, and I'll get to doing something else. Then I'll go back and look and be like, oh, I haven't responded to that in 3 days. I'm sorry.
It's not personal.
And so it's nothing that I'm doing on purpose. It's just that my mind's going 1,000,000 hours, 1,000,000 miles per hour. But now there is another side. Did he get what he wanted from you already?
Right. Yeah.
Did you already give him what he wanted and he's gone? Because that's the type of guy that he is, or that's the type of lady that she is. Yeah. Like I said, ulterior motives.
Mm-hmm. So if that's the case, you don't even have to worry about it, ladies. Like seriously, especially if you can see that he's read it. If you want to try and send another message in a different way and he's read it and he still didn't respond to you, that's by choice.
Yeah. And it's also like, then just move on. You don't deserve someone treating you like that, whether you're a man or a woman, honestly.
Yeah, both ways, because guys get ghosted too.
Yeah.
And that's why I say you put too many emotions into it too early.
Right.
And then, going from now, if you're getting ghosted after 8 months, oh, Jesus.
Patterns.
So you might want to call and see if they're okay.
Another woman wrote in, why don't guys approach women anymore? Sometimes they just stare, but they don't approach.
Because we don't know who we're dealing with.
Yeah.
You know how many times I've been in a bar and and just to say hello. I was in New York, okay? I'm at a bar in New York and I said, hey, how are you? She said no. I was like, why would you?
Yeah.
First of all, I'm not even coming. Don't flatter yourself, baby. All right? First and foremost. I'm not coming to you like that. I'm from Texas. I'm a gentleman. Hey, how are you? Excuse me. I want to order a drink. You might get lucky. I might get you one too, maybe just to be nice. But sometimes we don't know how to approach you because we don't know who we're dealing with. Because we see memes online all the time. How quote unquote, excuse me, how bitchy a lady is if a guy comes don't talk to me. So we don't know. Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. You mentioned memes online, right? Again, it's let's live in reality, guys. This social media world, Andrew, I'm sure, you've got a warped view of the world. Sorry, but
at 22.
if you're constantly scrolling and referencing and looking at something, that becomes part of your regular thought pattern, right? So, and then you have experiences to back it up. So then, not friendly. And it's unfortunate that people can't just be kind and friendly to each other.
I honestly think there's a lot of factors, but I think some of the main ones are fear of rejection. No one likes to be rejected. So he doesn't know, it's like, do I really want to put myself out there and go up there and possibly be rejected? And I don't know how I'll be rejected. I definitely don't want to be publicly humiliated. And two, ladies, maybe help him out. Like
that's what I'm saying.
Throw him a smile.
Yeah,
or,
exactly.
It's like
you know that look.
Yeah.
When
RBF
you catch eyes with someone,
doesn't work.
Yeah, you catch eyes with someone somewhere, like in a social setting. So ladies, like, shoot your shot, because 9 times out of 10 we're down. We're just waiting. We're just like, oh, you like give me the green light for me to be. Yes, I'm responding.
I'm responding.
You. That's a generational thing again,
yeah.
Right? Andrew's generation versus our generation. You know what I mean? Like.
Andrew's generation might try and find your location, like, nearby, and then shoot you.
That's
get all technical with it.
Y'all do that?
I'm just
I don't do it.
You've gotten that off.
You got somebody else who do it.
I saw you on Snapchat over in Arlington.
My Snapchat shows your location near me.
That's weird.
Wait, does it?
I don't know.
It can. You got to turn it off.
Turn off the location thing. Yeah.
All right, we got time for one more question.
Oh, man. Okay. Why do women like guys who are douchebags over guys who are nice?
I think that's an age thing. I feel like the older a lady gets, the less she gets away from that.
Yeah, it is an age thing.
But at the same time, if a guy is showing a girl he's a douchebag right off the spot, then that's on her.
Yeah.
But I feel like you usually don't find those things out until later into the relationship.
Mm-hmm.
Is it possible? I know you said one more, but one more.
No, go ahead.
Is it possible to fall in love with someone if you weren't immediately attracted to them?
Yeah.
Over time.
Like you build attraction up later?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Relationship grows and you
Love
learn
takes
more
work,
about
folks.
each other and stuff like that.
Love takes work. We can actually all do like closing statements on that. I can do one right now.
Oh, you look like you got another good one.
Yeah, you got another good one.
I know. Okay, one more. What can you put on an online dating profile to get attention other than just being like a good-looking person?
Dick pic. No. Don't do that.
Let me show you the different angles.
Was this who was this question from? A lady?
A man.
A man? Mm-hmm. What can you put on a profile
picture?
And I don't do online dating, so I probably wouldn't. And, I think just being honest, like being like things that you enjoy doing. I feel like everybody puts like a picture of them and their dog, and then them doing something adventurous, and then them do. It's like just
don't put pictures of you and your your friends, because they don't know who they're looking at.
That's true. Yeah.
Like all of that is
or a picture of you and your ex.
All that's on your social media anyways. Like think back to MySpace and things like that. Like what movies you like, things like that. Put your movies, your interests like that. If you actually like, don't just put reading down. You don't read books. Like if you actually read, put reading down.
Yeah.
Quote some books. Put some quotes in there. Yeah. Whatever interests you, whatever you like, put that in your profile, because it's your profile and that is you.
That's the first impression, right? Be honest. First impression, they'll never forget the first impression. So
because they'll be able to easily pick it out if you're faking it in the first place. It's like, wait, you said this in your profile, but you're not even about that.
Right.
Yeah. Real
That's called getting catfished. Oh man.
Yo, so Sonia, what I wanted to do, right, and we talked about it a little bit. So every time we have a guest on, we want to give them something, I don't know, special to remember their time, right?
Okay.
So I'm a cigar guy, okay? So got a little special one for you.
Oh.
I'm not going to say the brand because they ain't paying us for it.
I agree.
Yeah.
But
none of this free marketing.
This is a very good cigar.
Okay.
If you look it up, you'll see, all right, Griffin.
Now I'm curious to see where it's from.
I don't know if you smoke cigars or whatever, but...
Well, I'm a health reporter. But when in Cuba...
Right.
There you go. When in Rome. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
It's Nicaraguan wrapped in a Habano wrap.
Yeah.
I appreciate you.
I think we have time to go around and do closing statements if you want to sum things up. I don't know, or your experience with this, or we can always bring you back if you had fun.
Yeah, I had fun. Like it was really good.
Yeah.
I feel like I talked a lot.
Well, that's what we brought you
that's
for.
The whole, that's the whole point of having a mic in front of you.
Yeah,
talk. To talk.
This is my favorite topic to talk about, really. I mean, outside of health and wellness, because I think that relationships, So whether you're talking again about platonic, romantic, where there's a man and a woman, there's so much room for error and so much room for confusion and misunderstanding. And the more we do talk about it, and this is why I wanted to come on this show, because once I watched the first episode, I was like, these guys are honest. They're upfront. They're serious. They're speaking the up, right? And I appreciate hearing men and being able to sit at a table with men who are willing and open to talk about this, because I think, so the more we talk about it, the closer we'll become it, and the better we'll become at understanding each other.
Right.
So I appreciate
like you said,
the invitation.
Communications, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, 100%. And the more vulnerable we feel, it may be unfamiliar or uncomfortable at first, but then you get used to it and you take that into your relationship. So I think that that's only a good thing.
Yeah. You said the word vulnerable. I like that because I feel like a lot, both men and women nowadays put like a wall up, you know?
You have to.
And I get it. I get it. But there comes a point where the wall has to eventually like come down a little bit because the other, your partner or your, you know, your significant other, whatever, it gets frustrating. You know, when you think about it, because relationship takes work. We've talked about that before, and we said love is a choice, right? And that's the thing I want to touch on earlier. It's like, well, why do relationships nowadays, like as far as the connectivity, why does it start to lack? Why do people resort to social media? It's like, why do men look at these pictures of these women and like it? And why do women look at, you know, their ideal relationship and like, oh man, I wish we were like this. I wish we were like this. I wish we were like this. And you throw that to the guy, and it's like, well, we can be, but what people don't realize is that takes work. It takes work, and it's a whole role, right? It's like you ask the older generation, like our grandparents or even our parents, like, so what's worked? And they say the one advice I can give you, and this is the reoccurring theme, is like never stop dating each other, right? So you think about the beginning of dating, it's like, man, it's hot, it's heated. He's doing this, she's doing this. Like we connect, we talk, and all of a sudden you advance in your relationship, you become official, you get engaged, you get married, whatnot. All of a sudden the relationship fizzles because you stop working on that particular role. Like at what point do we stop and get lazy and get comfortable? We talked about comfortable last week and how it destroys almost everything. And it's like, okay, we're married now, so why do we not have to put any more work into our relationship? Like, would you go and try and get a job, work your ass off to get that job, work your ass off to get that promotion, and then once you get it, you just gonna stop working? You get lazy?
Right.
So how is it any different than a relationship? If you think about it, we put a title on it. A relationship is a job. It takes work. It's fucking hard, right? So continue to work on your relationship. You want to continue to elevate yourself as an individual, but at the same time, now elevate each other as a king and a queen. You talk about building a kingdom together, and yet you're not doing it behind closed doors. You're only posting what you want people to see, but not realizing that it takes work behind the scenes. It's like, folks, continue to work on your role. Put each other on. Like, dude, ladies, compliment your men. You know, guys, continue to compliment your woman. You know, it's like, stop being so lazy with your fucking relationship. It doesn't work that way.
I would say, to piggyback off that, get uncomfortable, right? Something I say all the time is iron sharpens iron, and it's not a pretty process, right? Iron sharpening iron, sparks, there's pieces of metal flying everywhere. Get uncomfortable. That's how you grow. That's how you get sharp. That's how you get better, right? So be comfortable being uncomfortable.
I'll say, for those of you who have been in relationships and have been hurt, I know from the point of being hurt, like I said, when you move away from that point, you know, things do numb out. It's okay to love again, but it's okay for you to take your time to love again. Don't feel like you have to rush into anything. You may hate everything fresh out of a bad relationship or out of a bad marriage, and that's natural. That's only right. Things will come around for you if you want them to, but at the same time, take time to heal yourself, be by yourself, love yourself, do things that you want to do, and go from there. Guard your feelings too, and to a certain extent. That's all we got.
It is.
Yeah.
Well, Sonia, it's definitely been a pleasure.
up.
It was
Thank
fun.
you.
Yeah.
I appreciate you guys.
Hope you had a good time.
What episode was this?
4.
4? All right. Yeah. Episode 4 to speak the fuck up. Hey, we thank you guys. Everybody coming in, everyone that supports us, watching us on YouTube, supporting us on Instagram. Where the name's going to go? Across?
Yeah.
All right, so we'll have Sonia
In the
Azad
description.
TV. You can follow her on Instagram. Once again, I'm going to give you a round of applause. Thank you for coming in. It's
you.
very nice to meet you.
Likewise.
Yeah.
It's fun.
All right. Until it's time to speak the fuck up again, I'm Joe.
Peter.
Griff. I thought that was funny.
No, you
throw yourself
first. Oh, I'm Sonia.
And Sonia, and we're out.